Morning. Just off for a run. I'm going to compare the iPhone Strava app stats with my MyoLink heart rate monitor against the Garmin 630 and the chest strap heart rate monitor. Subtle message. Because I feel like I ran with the 630 yesterday for the first time, and I feel like I wasn't feeling well yesterday. I ended up puking up at the end of the run. Well, prematurely. So I wasn't well yesterday, so that might have had something to do with a slower pace and a higher heart rate. But it just didn't seem to be the same. So I'm going to do both of them on this run. I'm just going to hit a few Strava segments, maybe even walk in between, because it is super hot. And as I said, I wasn't well yesterday, and then I ate a load of junk food. So, plus there's no Riley, no pushchair to carry some water, so I've not got any water. And we're looking at the temp on the clock in the house said 95 outside, which is 30 degrees centigrade plus maybe. I don't think it's that hot just yet. But the sun is blazing right now, and it's only 9 o'clock, so it's hot. So probably not a good thing to come out with no water for an hour. So we're just going to do about 4 segments, see if we can get on the top of them all, and then head home back to the UK. But we're just going to see whether these stats compare favourably, whether one of them's lying to me and telling me I'm faster than I am or slower. So here we go. So the run finished a little while ago. I had a problem heart rate readings with the iPhone Strava app and the MyoLink for the first time ever. And I'm guessing it's because this is Ant Plus and Bluetooth, so it was trying maybe, or possibly, the heart rate chest strap with the Garmin 630 was running on Ant Plus. I'm presuming they still do. And this was kind of getting mixed signals, or mixing up the signals somewhere and getting confused, because there would have been that signal going and this would have been trying to signal with my phone, and also the watch was Bluetooth synced up with the phone. So first time I've ever got mixed heart rate readings with this. So I did turn off the Bluetooth on the phone so it wasn't synced with this, and I still got some misreads on the heart rate, so I just turned this off. I did get a 204 BPM reading at one point, which did worry me because I'd probably be dead, and it was just dropping out. I was getting a lot of 0 readings and just whatever. But while I was comparing them, while I was looking at my watch and looking at this, while they were still working intermittently, this was working. The readings were very similar, although on the 630, when I was working harder, when my heart rate was in the 150s, 160s, it was consistently 2 to 5 BPM higher than the readings I was getting for this when it was working. So the heart rate monitor for this seems to put my heart rate down a bit faster the harder I work, which, you know, which is right. I've heard the technology in this is like pretty much accurate within plus or minus 1 BPM. That's if you've got it fitted on your wrist right and the signal is going to your device correctly. So either this is reading a bit higher for some reason, but there's only 2, 3, 4 beats, but it can be quite a big difference when you get worried when your heart rate hits 170, you know you're running out of steam. So we turned it off anyway, so I don't have full heart rate readings on the iPhone Strava app upload, which is the only run that's actually synced to my Strava feed. Because although I've got 2 runs, this one hasn't synced up. Now I'm presuming Strava have some kind of programming wizardry that doesn't allow people to wear 20 different excuse me, 20 different Garmin devices and get in some extra mileage, or cheat some of the challenges perhaps by recording the same run on multiple devices. Like someone going down on their bike and they got 20 Garmin devices stuck on there. Probably ruin your segments, to be honest. Bit too much weight, but someone might have tried it. Well, we tried it and we've only got one run uploaded, and that's the one from the iPhone Strava app, because that happened to sync up first before this, because I turned the Bluetooth sync off, so it wasn't communicating with my phone, so it wasn't uploading any runs. So I'm guessing that's why. So I'm wondering whether I can delete the run from the phone app, because that's got the incomplete heart rate readings, and I can then sync this one up, because this is in the history on here, but it's just not uploaded. So I'm wondering whether if I delete the iPhone app upload, this one will then upload and replace it. So just a thought. If you know and you're randomly watching this video and it's not 10 years later, let me know. Apart from that, they measured up quite similar, really. I have auto pause on the iPhone Strava app running, so the time on the iPhone app was shorter, just because it stopped and started more often. It does it randomly anyway sometimes when you're running, which can be annoying. But I was manually stopping and starting this because I didn't have auto pause on this, because auto pause on a running watch sucks. Alright on a bike if you get stuck at traffic lights, but when you're running, pointless, just do it yourself. So the time on here was 44 minutes something for 10.23k, and then the time on the iPhone Strava app was 43 minutes something. It was like almost a minute difference. So there was a minute less on the iPhone Strava app, but 10.3 kilometers on there. So it had a longer distance, but then they might be rounding up, or just the GPS signal might not be as accurate on the iPhone as it is on the Garmin watch. Now I did turn on the GPS GONAS thing after I actually did the run, because I thought that was the only one they used, but there is an option in here to turn on that GONAS GPS signaling thing. I think it's more accurate. I don't know what it is all about. Probably uses more your battery life, but that I didn't turn it on till after the run. So, but it still was reading less distance on here than on the iPhone Strava app, despite there being more time on here. So also the main difference was the pace was different. So the pace on the iPhone Strava app was for 13-minute kilometers. So I don't know, I can't really convert that to miles per minute right now because I'm lame. I know 5-minute kilometers is 8-minute miling, so we're 7-minute something miles, probably 7:20, something like that. So the pace on the iPhone Strava app was faster, because on here it was coming up as 4:21-minute kilometers. So this makes me run slower, and the iPhone Strava app makes me run faster. Well, you know what I mean. This is making me seem slower, and also I got the pace on here. On the front screen I have pace, current heart rate, distance and time. Now on the iPhone Strava app I can only have, as far as I know, I can only see the average pace of the whole run and the average heart rate from the whole run, which is not very good feedback when you're constantly trying to maintain the pace, or your up and down paces for some reason, like doing segments or something like intervals. I always like to know what my actual pace is in the moments. So that was one thing I don't like about the iPhone Strava app. So I did find that this was consistently reading slower pace readouts than the actual average was reading on the whole run on the iPhone Strava app. And the average for the iPhone Strava app was like pretty much most of the time down at 4:30s or sometimes below. But then on this I was getting a lot of 5-minute kilometer readings, 450 kilometer readings, And it was a little bit off-putting because I was like, I'm sure I'm running faster than this, and I didn't feel like this pace should have been the actual pace in the moment, whereas I felt it wasn't, because I thought I was running faster. So I don't know, I changed it to read the data from smart reading to every second. You have an option, it can record your data like in a smart way, so it's not going to do it every second. Probably it's going to just pick up points. So if you're running very steady, it's probably going to slow down how many times it makes a reading on your run, whereas I just change it to every second because I'd rather just have an accurate reading, because I'm not doing like 24-hour runs, so I'm not going to kill the battery by reading every second. If you're doing a 24-hour run or 100 milers or whatever, then you might want to keep the smart reading on because that's going to preserve your battery life. But I just want to know what's going on every second because I'm like this when I'm running. Which I've stopped doing that, I'd probably run faster. So yeah, the pace just, I don't know, seemed to not be right, but maybe it was right and I'm running slow. So we're going to have to stop because there's a train coming. Paradise is never perfect. Train's gone. So the verdict basically is, if I had to choose between using the iPhone Strava app and the Garmin 630 right now, I'd just use a watch because it's more convenient to look at this than it is to run with the phone in my hand. But there is one other thing, and that's the live segments. And the live segments work only on my iPhone because I'm not going to get live segments on here. So what I'm going to do is run with both still, but obviously I'm not going to wear 2 heart rate monitors. I'll just use my iPhone Strava app for watching my live segments and not actually upload the data from those runs and only upload the data from these ones, because I do feel like this is should be more accurate, and it has a lot more running metrics on here, like your cadence and your left right balance and all that other fancy stuff. So given the option, I'm going to choose just running with this if I have to run with one, but I don't have to run with one, so I'm going to run with both, just so I can see the live segments. Now if I get a watch with live segments on, don't need the phone no more, because it's, you know, they're accurate. A few meters and making me look a bit slower is more motivating. So if you use the iPhone Strava app, let me know whether you can change the data fields, because that would be handy. Then I might just use the iPhone Strava app and sell the Garmin. No, it's much easier running with a watch. So yeah, watches are easier. iPhone's fun for the live segments. Just use both.